Hey guys, this is Pastrytime. Doing yet another audio commentary. We've got Jungle Warwick this time. I know I did say in my last video, the Lux commentary, which is still being uploaded, that I was gonna do Annie and Oriana, and I am planning to do that. I was actually gonna cast the Annie game while the servers are down, because we're currently having server problems, which is part of why I felt like doing another commentary so soon. But for some reason my version of LoLRecorder is bugging out, and I can't place some select replays, including the Annie one that I was going to do, and I don't have enough decent Oriana games yet that that I'd be happy to commentate on. So we're going to do Jungle Warwick here instead. As you can see, it's Katarina, Warwick, Shen, Zillion, and Tryndamere versus Ashe, Blitz, Swain, Aurelia, and Amumu. So, two pretty good teams, reasonably well balanced. I'd say our team is a little bit more aggressive than theirs, certainly with Katarina and Tryndamere. I think I would prefer to be on their team, but we end up taking this game anyway, as you'll see. It's a little bit silly in places, but I'm going to be trying to ignore the silliness and just talk about all the goodness that is Jungle Warwick. So, Runes and Masteries we'll talk about now. I'm actually 1-8-21 for Mastery builds. It's an exact copy of the Odd Ones build for Trundle and Olaf and Nocturne. So pretty much the Odd One of the really great junglers in this game, possibly the best jungle player in the entire game. He's part of Team Solomid. Definitely go to solomid.net, check out their guides, because a lot of the stuff I've learnt and improved my jungling with, I've been learnt from all their stuff. So go there; it's an awesome place. I've actually started with a cloth armor, 2 pots, and a ward. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because generally as Warwick, you don't really know how your root's going to go, and because their jungler is a Mumu, I do want to get aggressive about it. Now, I did actually go to ward their red, assuming they'd be protecting their blue. But, however, there wasn't a movie waiting there for me, so I'm going to walk over to the other side and ward their blue instead. So yeah, that's kind of the reasoning there. Cloth armor just really helps you survive a little bit longer, and the potions are just kind of a safety thing. Warwick's a pretty stable jungler, very well sustained, especially once you have blue buff. But I decided that I was going to be a little safer. Normally I go boots and 3 pots and just kind of farm up forever, but my reasoning here is I might want an early magic as well. I was expecting to be a little bit more active around the map. Anyway, I see Swain there, and there's an Amumu still there. So Swain ghosts and laser birds me to slow me, but everything's going to be okay. And this ward's actually going to prove really critical. The team that Amumu was on was sadly not too receptive to the fact that I'd warded his blue, so Amumu's going to stay away from his blue the entire time, which is going to let me counter jungle him really nicely. I am late in getting these golems, but I will start here and smite one up. Smite one up, and then continue on my standard jungle route. So for those of you who don't know this route, this is the sustained jungle route, where you try and clear all the little camps as much as possible, and then do the big camps when you're near them. So that's the philosophy behind it there. That way you kind of clear the small camps as much as possible, getting you the most golden experience in the shortest amount of time. This is a good little thing to know as well when you're jungling kind of mid game with a jungler, because the faster your small camps respawn on your side of the jungle, the more access you have to that farming experience. So they do respawn every 1 minute and 40 seconds. So if you were able to every 1 minute and 40 seconds clear your camps and then go back and do them all again, that optimizes your farm from the jungle. So this is what this route does. It's also known as the quick level 6 route, so it does get you level 6 reasonably quickly. Although as Warwick, you tend to have quite a lot of deviations in your jungling, depending on what's going on in the lane. You are so strong in the jungle, and you're able to sustain and survive in the jungle for so long, especially with blue again, that really covering other lanes, trying for ganks and stuff, even without your ultimate, is more than acceptable. So you can start with boots and a combination of potions and lords, or cloth armor and a combination of potions and lords. They're all good. Runes are also exactly the same as the odd ones, Trundle, Olaf, and Nocturne runes. So I've got a 25 Armour Pen, that's Armour Pen Quintessences and Marks. I've Armour Seals and Magic Resist per level Glyphs. So that kind of gives you a good combination of tankiness. So a good combination of tankiness and the early Armour Pen, which really helps in early levels. Warwick does benefit greatly from having attack speed runes. My old Warwick page was move speed quints, and everything else was attack speed. So that's good too. But really, this page to me gives you the most balance. Magic Resist per level quints as well to me are really beneficial for a jungler, because you don't tend to see the enemy team until kind of later levels, especially doing this kind of sustained jungling. So that benefit kind of kicks in earlier because you're not in lane under threat from AP damage. You just get to kind of scale up your resistances for free by having per level runes. And armor, of course, is really good in the jungle as well. So yeah, armor very standard in the jungle. You don't need it on Warwick either, because that's how good his Q is at healing him in the jungle, but that's okay. I pretty much just have that as my standard jungle setup now, so I just ran that for the sake of having it, really. I am, 1-8-21, I think I discussed for Masteries as well. If I didn't, that's what I am. I'm a 1-8-21, so improved smite, a little bit of defense, including 2 points in strength of spirit. I'm going to go here and counter jungle a Moo, and then 21 utility, just quickly jumping back. Sorry if that's a bit confusing. But, what was I talking about? Yeah, so in 21, so you get all the good stuff. You get summoner spells, move speed, experience, which you obviously absolutely need as a jungler, increased buff duration. Really, the reasoning is that the utility tree is so strong, especially for a jungler, that really if you're able to take 21 points in it without hitting a jungle, you should, and most of the offensive junglers are capable of doing that. Anyway, so the ward from their blue is just one off, but their Mumu actually ended up laning, because he was so scared of getting owned in the jungle, really. So the fact that I've seen him top and seen him mid, I know that I'm freely able to counter jungle this side of the jungle. Take his red for absolutely nothing, and then I'm gonna do most of his raids. And really, I'm assuming he's starting his blue now, given that he's now disappeared from top and mid. So I decided to clear this side of the jungle for him, leaving everything, just so he to slow him down even more, because he's already gimped himself by having to be in lane in a 2v1 where he's gaining less experience. So I felt that was a good counter jungle on my part, I felt. Anyway, I'm gonna go cover bot here. Again, as I said as Warwick, you tend to pop out of the jungle for a lot of things, whether they be ganks or to cover a lane like this. So really having a sustainability on your side is important, and you do have that as Warwick, obviously. But I was talking more about item builds, I think, saying boots versus cloth armor isn't really a big deal, given that your sustainability mostly comes from your Q. You just want to be able to do the most things possible, and I feel that having cloth armor, you end up taking overall less damage from camps. So especially in my case where I took a ward, which is part of the reason why I took cloth armor, is because I did want to get a sight ward into my initial items, and as you saw, it did absolutely amazing things for me. Moom is still in top lane. I'm scared to take his blue. I don't think he has it or not. Let me check. No, he still doesn't have his blue. So even though the ward itself has disappeared, he doesn't know that. So he's afraid that I've just been constantly warding it. And Moom was really not going to venture into his jungle, and again, really gimping his team and himself, which sucks. Anyway, I'm going to continue jungling here. So before I ended up deciding to counter jungle, the standard grid is you go double golems, wraiths, wolves, blue, and then you repeat the little camps again. So as they respawn, you go back to double golems, do wraiths, do wolves, do red, and then do double golems and wraiths again. I think it's something like that. Pretty much, if you see the little camp up, do it before the big one, and then do the big one when you've cleared up the little camps. So I don't have to do outright because I've got a Mumi's red. End up stopping that to type an MIA, and I'm gonna go do again, just kind of clearing out my small camps. I've disrupted my route a little bit. Here, again, I'm assuming that a Moom is at blue, so I don't really want to go in and counter jungle him. Although, in hindsight, I kind of wish I had. Do you know Zillions? No, Zillion's going to be fine. Although, I do think I end up running to go help him, and then I think he kills him. Yeah, no, I remember what happens now. So I'm going to go in here. I see that Zillion has been fighting Swain. He is winning, but he does need a little bit of help. I don't have my ultimate, so I'm going to just slow him there with red buff. It's going to be pretty hard for him to get away from this at this point. Another red buff slow, and he's going to die to the bomb there. I do end up going a little bit too far forward for no reason, but that's okay. And yeah, we end up picking up an easy kill there on Swain. So just some decent map awareness on my part, helping to get all that underway. I am offering to cover for Zillion here. I don't remember if he wants to be or not. But I think we clear the wave and then he goes back. Yeah, he does. So I'm gonna stay up here. I should stay up here. I don't think I do. Given that, I know I have to save mid. So much. I do a lot this game. There's a lot of running around going on. So Blitzcrank has decided to be silly. I think I end up going for him, assuming that I'm gonna flash an ulti him at the turret, but I think he dies before then. Yeah. So all my all my time wasted running up there, but it's okay. I can help push down in this lane. Warwick is really good at pushing after he ganks, given that W gives a global attack speed bonus. So definitely look to abuse that if you're doing well in a game, and you've basically, if you're free to push, then go ahead and do it. So you'll see Muma here is got a couple items up on me because I haven't gone back yet. I do have 1500 gold, but he is a full level behind. And almost 2 levels actually, given that I'm close to level 7. I'll just quickly check CS while we're here. So he's 13 total CS, and I'm 30. So I am, more than doubling him. I mean, it's not particularly fast what I'm doing at the moment, but it's better than nothing. I do end up heading back, seeing that Aurelia come in. Do have my ultimate. I'm gonna ult somebody, get someone bad. Oh no, I'm waiting for someone to commit to a gank so I can ult them off my teammates, but they don't, so I don't end up worrying too much. Just poking him in me there because he was the closest target. And I'm going to cover mid as well here. I think I end up getting a kill on Ashe, who stupidly decides to fight me at a turret. Okay, maybe not. Some funny stuff happens in this game. I don't think I die from memory. So, really, the strength that you'll see being abused in this particular game is Warwick's constant sustainability in the jungle. His Q and really does keep him alive through most situations. I think this Ashe dies really soon, I swear. So Zillion's having a hard time over here. He does ping, but I can't obviously get there in time. I don't really know what he wanted me to do. I did say he does complain for me not calling MIA, but I do remind him that I said care. I guess that wasn't enough. I should have pinged more or something. But anyway, ignoring that, some players are just like that. Yeah. So this Ashe is just chilling here. Pretty sure I am killing it, which is pretty funny. Yeah, just watch this. Walk up to her, attack her, ult her. I'm sorry, that was really amusing. Obviously, these aren't tip-top players or anything. Funnily enough, this was a ranked game, so that just tells you how bad my solo queue elo is. Go ahead and look it up if you want. I'm currently in the middle of trying to get out of a very big hole. But yeah, that was pretty funny. Anyway, so I do end up going back with about 2k gold, picking up Madrid Razors and Berserker Greaves, I believe, and I pick up a couple of wards. Really, that's pretty ideal. The reason I prefer boots generally on Warwick is if you're going to be doing a lot of running around like I'm doing, you want to be a little bit faster at it, and also you actually gank pretty well even without your ultimate with red buff. It's just getting to targets that you need to be worried about. Once you've locked onto a target with red buff, you're pretty much good to go. So that's why I prefer boots. Although, as I said, cloth armor for me was, I expected to be out of lane a little bit more than I thought I would, and I did want also a ward in there, and I don't quite feel confident doing the because you do have to finish blue buff in your sustained route in order to keep going at early levels. If you can't finish your blue by the time you get there, you are in quite a bit of trouble because you do need it to keep constantly queuing. And once you've got the blue for the first time, you can pretty much do, as I said, do whatever you want, and just continue jungling like I've done here. But yeah, lost my train of thought. But yeah, so that's the cloth armor. I expected to be having a little bit more trouble with camps, maybe dashing out of lane a little bit more, and I did want a ward for a Mumu as well. So as I said, both choices are good. Aurelia here is going to stun me, and I'm going to give up on her. I mean, I didn't have red or anything. I didn't feel like ulting her because Shane and I probably didn't have the DPS to take her out. So you know what? I was just pretty much being aggressive there. She was pushed up in the lane. I felt like I could possibly get a kill if she overextended. She doesn't, which is good on her part. But that's okay. So pretty much as I've gone back, I'm going to start speed clearing my side of the jungle again. So I'm going to do a standard blue to red clear. As you'll see. Again, Warwick has such sustainability in the jungle, especially with blue, which I do have here, that you're able to... You're able to really kind of do whatever you want. So there's a big gank going up in here. I do kind of walk through it. I'm just trying to protect Trinamir as best I can, but I don't... I do walk in to ult somebody and get silenced, because I think I was going to think of ulting Aurelia there. However, Blitz overextends stupidly, tower dives, and I pick up an easy kill with my ult, which I probably didn't even need to use. Anyway, so... I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of lane covering this game, which is not a bad thing for Warwick. Again, you jungle so quickly with Madrids Razors, that one's there. But popping out of lane isn't a big deal. It's actually sometimes beneficial for you because you have extra creeps to feed to get life back off with your Q. So for those of you wondering what my skill order is, actually, that's pretty standard. I'm leveling Q first, then W, then E last, leveling my ultimate at every possible level, as always. To me, I think that's the standard. It should be the standard if it's not. But yeah, just the attack speed buff from Hunter's Call, which is your W, really does give you very significant attack speeds with pretty much zero investment on my part. I'm gonna be getting Madrid's Blood Razor and my Berserker Greaves, and that's all the attack speed I'm gonna get all game. And I'm gonna get quite a high attack speed by the end of the game. Again, just clearing out my jungle here. There's nothing much going on really. I'm gonna go cover top here because I see Aurelius pushing it. Not too much going on. Just gonna ward up key areas. I've warded Dragon already. I'm gonna be warding up here, and then I'm gonna be heading towards. I saw Aurelia leave, so I was gonna go help them. That's what happened. Zillion ults himself. Shen ults. This is so weird. Shen ults blitz. Then Trinamir, I think. Yeah, Trinamir picks up the kill, but doesn't have an ult. Oh no, he does have an ult, but he gets stunned. I do ult Aurelia to keep him off, but Amumi's still chasing, and Swain is here too. Oh, I think I just managed to save them, which is pretty cool. And I'm taking quite a bit of damage. I flash out of the way, get stunned by Amumu, which is incredible, but Q does keep me alive, despite the fact that I have been tormented by Swain. And everything is funky. So I think without blue buff I wouldn't have lived there. So that's kind of the power of having CDR and Warwick. You really you build a little bit tanky, you have lifesteal from your passive, from your ultimate as well, and your basic attacks, and then just from your Q. And you can really stay alive in some silly situations just like that one. I did kind of misplay getting flashing into Amumu's bandage shots. That was really nice by him. But you know, all in all, it ended up being okay. You'll notice I stood very far away, knowing they would happily dive me if I let them. So don't just run in and try and Q a creep, because you'll die. Again, you'll notice that I'm just constantly jungling here. My health will pretty much go back to full doing these camps again. And really, as Warwick, you shouldn't never worry about going back. You kind of want to play the game. How long can I stay out of? How long can I stay in lane or in the jungle before I have to go back? Because Warwick really. We got a free kill on Ash here, by the way. He's completely out of position. That was easy. Again, this play is not the best. And we're gonna some more teamfight stuff going on to talk about that. Trying to chase the Blitzcrank. I do get never moved by Swain, which is nice on his part. But the Zillion slow plus red buff is gonna clean up this Amumu, and then we're gonna start chasing Aurelia, who goes and Blitzcrank for some reason decides to come back in and get himself killed. So that was good on his part as well. Good times. Anyway, again, as Warwick, I mean, without blue buff, this is I am running out of mana, so I won't be able to jungle quite as efficiently. I mean, Madrid's plus my passive and attack speed should keep me up, but really Q is the thing that constantly keeps your health going, especially if you get ganked. Kind of queuing as you run is a really good thing to do. And I'm going to go ahead and solo dragon for the most part. I think me and Cat 2-man it. You can solo dragon as early as level 6, I believe, is Warwick. I think, or maybe even level 5. You pretty much need 3 levels into your Q and blue buff, and you're able to solo it pretty handily. Might want to test before you do that in a game, but Warwick still good at selling dragon, despite the fact that dragon got buffed all that time ago now. I'm gonna get him up to 2,000 gold. The goal is to go back and get my Blood Razor. You generally want to get it if you're farming. If you're farming that much at about 20 minutes, so that's what I'm going to be aiming for. We'll see when I get it. I am typing in chat when Dragon is, whose name is, by the way, Ben. For those of you who aren't aware, Dragon's name is actually Ben. So I type next Ben 2320, which is the time it takes, and it's good to keep track of stuff like that. Note that Dragon respawns every 6 minutes, so if you can't keep the buff timer in your head, feel free to keep it just in chat, especially if you think you're prone to forgetting, and it's good just to type it out anyway. I try and type it or at least say it out loud if I'm playing with teammates, or I'll just say it to myself if I'm playing alone, just so that I've at least recognized when the time is, because I'll generally remember it, and you'll find you'll probably remember it too. If you type it, even if you don't check chat for it, which you're able to do, you'll probably remember the time anyway. So anyway, another team fight's going on. Katarina's owning everyone's face. I'm planning to go in and ult Ashe, run after Ashe. Tower diving happily is where I flash, I ult, I Q her. Just managed to not get her, but I think Katarina flashes for the bouncing blade kill there. I'm going to pick up mid turret as well, so lots of happy fun time tower diving potential on this team. again, this is what I was talking about. When you win a lane, you're able to push it really quickly by giving a global attack speed buff to all your allies. So Warwick is good times. I definitely recommend a lot of Warwick. Sorry for not commentating on kind of more of the basic stuff. I am assuming in this commentary, like I kind of do sometimes, that you do kind of know the basics of Warwick. I'm just trying to point out specific things that happens, interactions and tips as I notice them as well. And also general, I think decision making is a really important part of League of Legends. It's not talked about enough. So I'll be trying to go through my decision making for most of for most of this commentary. If you guys want to see different styles of commentary, let me know. I'm happy to do all that. I think I'm checking the. No, I'm typing. Okay. If you see a player stop, harass them because they are typing and they can't do anything. It's great. So always type somewhere safe, kids. Anyway, so I'm gonna just again, being opportunistic about when I can jungle. I know that I assume that they're pushing. I don't really see them immediately, so I know I can clear wolves before they get there. I'm pretty sure Trinity is dead now, which is which is what I do type in chat. Although I'm pretty sure he dies. Although he does get a kill. Heading over here. There's not much interesting going on over there. Yeah, decide against it. Lots of BDing going on. Anyway, just picking up more kills. Just having my blue buff. So one of the interesting things I said about Warwick is that you're able to farm for a long time. You see, I've gone back one time, getting Madrids and Berserkers, and I'm up to almost 3,000 gold, which is more than enough for my Madrid's Blood Razor. Basically, stuff just keeps happening. And I don't want to go back. I think it's more beneficial of you to... Swain here tries to fight me and gets himself owned. Although I do end up taking lots of damage. This is the most heroic Zillion ult I think I've ever seen. Taking lots of damage, stuff's happening, and there's a Zillion rushing up to save me. I do ult to keep myself alive, and then Zillion ults me. And this is just the most heroic ruffle stomp ever. I love it. I was queuing the entire time to save myself. Your ult does rapidly attack as well, so you're able to remember that you do get the lifesteal quite quickly off that. That's why I stayed alive there. I know that Red Buff's going to kill a Mimu after I queue him, so I ignore him, go back to Aurelia, and we just clean up. And I'm back to full health. So if you want to know how good Blue Buff Warwick was, yeah, that entire fight after getting Zillion ulted, I managed to get from about a third or a half to back to full just from that entire fight, just from queuing people with Blue Buff on. Blue buff does run out. I do go back and then realize that I should cover top. Again, you're able to cover so many areas at once as Warwick, and you're able to stay out of, away from base and away from the shop for such a long period of time that if you're able to do what you should, you do need to go back at some point, because if you if you've had a 40-minute game where you've not bought items, you're probably going to get rolled. But really, try and stave off going back for as long as possible. And you ideally want to go back for probably, if you start with boots, you want to go back for your Blood Razor and maybe boots too. And then if you can go back for your Blood Razor after that, it's usually perfect, because it'll be at about 20 minutes. I did have enough gold for it at 20 minutes, but stuff kept happening that I wanted to do. You'll notice I'm continuing just doing my jungle because it's up and there's no reason not to do it, because by the time I get back to it, it'll be respawned already. I think I finally go back now. No. I don't do our red. Oh, I cleared the marker from red because I was wondering why it was still there. Because I thought I might have left a lizard there after I got ganked by Swain. Or after I got caught by Swain in the jungle. But no, anyway, so this is pretty ridiculous. I have 4k gold, Madrid's Blood Razor, Kindle Gem, couple of wards. Yeah. 22 minutes, 40 seconds. What's up? Do end up buying 5 wards because I've neglected my warding duties a little bit, given that I haven't gone back at all. Although you do, I suppose, get enough map control just having someone constantly roaming the map. Especially in your jungle, you really control your side of the map as Warwick, seeing that you're constantly taking other camps. But anyway, 20-minute Blood Razor Warwick is one of the most brutal things in this game. So you'll notice that most Warwicks, or certainly I do, and I think a lot of good Warwicks, start playing more aggressive once they get their Blood Razor. It really is a massive amount of their damage output. Oh, I know Dragon's respawning, that's why I'm pinging here, but Pinwheel decides to go in. So thankfully he catches all of them and goes out, and we still do Dragon anyway. So again, global attack speed buff, Trinity Warwick with a Blood Razor, and a Smite up. Yeah, it's a pretty easy Dragon. And once you have Blood Razor, you essentially, you take all of Warwick's strengths and accentuate them by about 1 billion when you have Blood Razor. So I'm just gonna walk up to pretty much whoever's closest at this point, because they're all squishy to me. Just chop them up. We're gonna chop up some people. I'm gonna keep going. Where am I? There I am. Why am I hiding in there? Oh, I'm typing the time for dragon. I remembered it in my head. Yeah, there we go. Next bend 29-23. And again, just gonna continue to do my buffs. Make sure if you're jungling to keep good minimap awareness at all times. Obviously, playing any champion, but keep tracking your markers and when they come up and stuff like that, so that you know. Sorry, I'm just reading chat. It's kind of funny. So that you know when you're able to do your camps. Also, get really good at drawing lines between jungle routes based on what camps are up. Now, as you jungle more and more, this is something I can't do yet, but I know a lot of the top junglers are able to do this. You'll start keeping track, probably just internally really, you won't even need to do it without thinking too hard. You start keeping track of when camps would respawn. So not only can you start drawing routes from, like, say, oh, blue's up, reds are up, I can do from blue to double golems, and that's a pretty easy jungle route to do. So it's a pretty easy jungle route to do without really thinking about it at all. But you'll learn that, like, okay, so this takes me maybe a minute, this takes, a couple of seconds, this takes a couple of seconds. I'll actually check, just a little experiment, but it's likely that when I finish golems, I think wolves will be close to respawning again. I didn't check the timer there, but and you can start tracing the routes in your head and think, okay, if I've done wolves, can I go back and do the small camps? And that's what I was talking about, trying to keep your small camps clear as much as possible on your side of the jungle, if nothing much is really going on, because you'll just constantly keep them up. If any of you ever played Heroes of New Earth, I know no one likes to hear about Hon. I'm a really bad Hon player, and I've never really played it, to be perfectly honest with you guys. But I do know a good friend of mine is a very, very good Hon player, and we like talking about MOBAs as a general thing and comparing the differences. And it's you might hate the game for whatever reason, but there are obvious strategic overlaps in places. So teamfight starting, so I'll talk about that instead. I'm going to jump on Ash's face and completely demolish her. She managed to actually get killed by a mid-travel Shen dagger. I decided to 2v1 here because my blood race is going to rip through both of them anyway. I'm not afraid of either of them, despite the fact that they're tanky champions. Pick off that dude, Q, and just Q my way to victory, really. I'm blue buff Warwick, that's how I roll. Q, yeah. I am going for a Spirit Visage this game, by the way. I don't end up building it because the game ends before I can go back. But this is absolutely the build I'd recommend on Warwick. Berserker Greaves, Madra's Blood Razor, Spirit Visage gives you the perfect combination of tankiness and damage, because really Blood Razor gives you pretty much all the damage you need. And then from there you can build whatever defensive or offensive items you feel you need. So we're gonna go ahead and tank this turret like a baller, I think. Yeah, not worried. I can just queue off the next minion. I'm gonna start pushing, and the game's gonna end pretty soon around this time. So actually, this is. I kept wanting to go back here because I wanted to get my Spirit Visage, because I never actually built it on Warwick. Up until this game, I'm like, fine, I've seen the build, I've never built it, I might as well build it this game. In subsequent games I've played with Warwick recently, I have built it. Top does sadly end up, I think we pull back to defend. We do pull back to defend, and then they just keep jumping in and feeding people. So like, I was out there ready to recall, and people are just like chilling, and I'm like, alright, I'll cut myself away. Now I see Trinity there, I'm gonna ult you, I'm gonna queue the next guy, just keep my health up. And it's just like, and then Chen ults me for pretty much zero reason, I don't need and I get a triple kill. So, every now and then that happens. This actually might be a game where all our towers stay up. I was thinking about like the super flawless game. No deaths, all towers up. I think that's what I did this game, which is pretty outstanding business. I type in chat blue buff Warwick OP because I was talking about how the cooldowns and stuff you get. But yeah, that's again the perfect mix of off and the defense to me. We're just diving a Swain. It's getting pretty ridiculous at this point. Which I like. Again, they just kept going in 1 by 1 or in 2s and just getting owned. I mean, we are pretty good at tower diving, but diving this Ash. Sorry, the end of this game is really funny to me. Okay, so 3 of them come down. I think we back up a little bit. Anyway, so I know this game's almost over. They do surrender quite soon. I am 11-0 and 10. I think I end up somewhere like that. Double digit everything except deaths. You can just watch me kind of juke around a little bit. Whee! Anyway, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this commentary. It was more decision-based kind of things and less about actual, the basics like the jungling or the abilities doing stuff. If you guys want more kind of in-depth, kind of basic stuff, like I'm happy to do. Like I did kind of an introductory Nidalee type commentary, and then I'm happy to like do a follow-up commentary with a little more advanced stuff. Pretty much whatever you guys want. I'm trying to organize duo commentaries. If you guys want to do a commentary with me, let me know. We can try and organize that. Anyway, the game's over. They've surrendered. GG to everyone else. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Pastrytime signing out. More commentaries coming your way soon, guys. Have a really good one, and I'll see you all later.